Hello, welcome back to Furious Driving, and once again playing with the old Rover 200 Convertible, a 216 Cabby. Yay! Right, well, I'll start off by apologising for any background noise because there's something over there where they're cutting metal apparently all the time. I've only been up to this location where the car is stored evenings and weekends before. I didn't realise there's a metal cutting hobbyist behind the fence over there. But the first video has gone down really well. It's nearly 10,000 views since it went up yesterday, so I'm absolutely astonished by that. Everyone seems to really like this little Rover 200. Well, no, that's not entirely true. Half the people watching it think it's the best thing since sliced cheese. The other half think I should have scrapped it already and broken it for parts. The thing is, though, there are only, under 300 of these left on the road. Maybe I'm exaggerating by saying 300, maybe it's even less than that. They are just minuscule numbers. It's too good to break. People are saying it looks rotten, it looks terrible. Yeah, it's dirty, but the interior on this is actually way cleaner than the interior on my Tomcat was when I got it. And the rust in this is actually far more minimal than the rust in the Volvo. And everyone has really taken the Volvo to their hearts. And I thought the Volvo looked good on the outside, but it was pretty crusty underneath, as we all found out. This one, though, I think it's the other way around. It looks pretty awful on the outside, but underneath it should be okay. So I think from that point of view, I think we're pretty much safe. It's not a breaker. I've spent money on parts. It's decided we're going to make it go. Now, secondly, I keep getting a lot of repeat questions and comments in the comments, which I've been trying to answer as much as I can, but I'm finding I'm answering the same things quite a lot. So first of all, it's not a breaker, it's too rare. Second of all, it's not that rusty really. It looks bad, but we'll figure that out. Thirdly, EKA code. Yes, the EKA code, which is an electronic override code for the Immobiliser on these, is a 4-digit code from Rover, which you put in like an old-fashioned key in the door lock safe thing. I was using it correctly. I just didn't want to show you the actual sequence because it would have given my code key away, or key code away. So that's why it's truncated, and some people thought I was doing it wrong. It's because I didn't want to show you my actual number. What else was there? Yes, I didn't have a battery for the key fob because I only had the car a few days and I'd not been to any shops, and I wasn't making a specific journey out to a supermarket just for like a watch battery. Turned out I had one in a drawer after all. A brand new Duracell. It's a CR2032, I think, if you're actually after one of these. So I can now try resyncing the key fob. And lastly, which a few people have very helpfully commented, which I didn't realise, if you're doing the key in the lock thing, you have to have the bonnet shut or it won't work. So right, first of all, let's see if this will open and close the doors. No, it won't. Okay. Second thing was syncing this is basically you mash the lock button repeatedly. I say at least 4 times in quick succession, but basically just mashing it seems to do the trick, or should do the trick. However, it hasn't. Which brings me to the next point. Why didn't I take the battery out of the Tomcat's key fob and use the battery for that in this key fob? Because that is as rubbish as this one is, and I haven't had a battery in that fob for years because it just doesn't work. Right, okay, let's give the Immobiliser doohickey a go with the bonnet shut now. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, as has been suggested by a couple of people as well, I have also been chucking a bit of electrical contact cleaner into the lock as well. I will lube it with some proper lithium lock grease when I'm done. So starting with the car locked, you then hold it for 5 seconds in the lock position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you do right. See if we don't get immobilised this time. No, we get immobilised this time. No, that's still doing nothing. Okay, that's super helpful. Let's read the instructions again, make sure I'm not missing a stage out. Oh, I just did it again without the camera rolling. I was just doing it really slowly, counting it very carefully, and just making sure I was hearing the lock click inside the door. It made a beep this time when I turned it off, and the light's gone out on the dashboard. Oh, can I turn the ignition? No. And while I'm here, even though I can't make it turn over, I will change the oil and filter so that when I'm ready for that day, I can crack on with that and get it done nice and quickly. Partly because you get it done, mostly so I haven't got to keep running around with cans of oil in the back of a nice car. As someone pointed out, I thought you probably could do, there's a big cross member thing right under the front of the car, which you get easier access with the jack so you can raise it up enough to slide the oil drain tray under. My main concern here is not getting the concrete dirty because this isn't my car park. So I'm going to use big plastic bags, big sheets of cardboard, lots of stuff to try and make sure this stays away from the ground, although I'm shedding quite a bit of car on the ground as it stands though. So I found a point where I could just raise it enough to get or slide the tray underneath it and just reach an arm under and turn the drain handle. I'm not going underneath the car, I'll stress that right now. So far, there we have one disaster-free oil drain which has not yet painted the car park black. May it continue. Let's play hunt the filter. Where is the filter on one of these things? It's in amongst all the cobwebs. There we go. That thing down there. Just to reach up around the cross member and free it. All the cobwebs, so many cobwebs. Now always remember to put a little smear of the new oil on the ring, then it'll come off more easily when you take it apart in a few months' time. Yuck. Yuckety yuck yuck yuck. Shiny new Wix filter. Now I am confident I can do this in a car park away from home. Do you know why? Because I don't buy it from Euro car parts. Only going to be done up hand tight, so just tighten it until it's as tight as your hand can do it really. That kind of makes sense. There we go. Oil filter. Just put some fresh oil in that in a second. Actually that does look pretty ropey. It looked okay in the dipstick, but that looks really nasty in the can. This particular task of draining the waste oil away into a container is something I would file under things I hate more than pretty much anything else in the world. I don't know how clearly that's showing up, if at all, on the camera, but it's very black and very gooey, considering it just sat in the engine and done nothing for the last 7 years and didn't go that far after its head gasket change apparently. This doesn't look particularly nice. Mustn't forget to actually put some fresh oil back in this thing, otherwise that would be a mistake. I do actually have a proper funnel for doing this, but guess what? It's at home. Whoops. Apparently it takes 4.5 litres of this stuff. 1040 semi-synthetic according to the Rimmer's website. But now I've got an actual dipstick in it, I can double check that I've got the right level in a moment. Now I was going to change the cam belt today as well and do the alternator at the same time, just because, well, doing both at the same time, but I forgot to go and get a new water pump. I forgot to add that to my order, so that hasn't arrived yet, so I need to wait for that to arrive. So that will be in one of the next videos. Alright, let's give that a minute to drip down. Oh, the luxury of an actual dipstick. This oil is so clear I can't see it on the stick. I'm pretty much smack in the middle. I'll give it half a litre more in case this car burns it. I think we're pretty much good to go there. Right, there's one thing left to do on the car. Can't actually turn the engine over, but at least if I could, it wouldn't be damaging itself. Now before I call it a day here today, whoops, so a quick look at getting this back bench out, because apparently what you have to do is pull this lower seat out, then you can somehow get your arms around the back of the other bit. But I don't know, I lift it a little way. I didn't read the book, I should have done before I came out. And then I can get these catches that far, but it looks like it needs to pull up and forward, but it doesn't want to do that. And the websites mention 3 little 10mm screws, but they just can't get your hand down there. Maybe on the fabric seats you can, but the leather is just so hard it doesn't give, so you can't move it. So I'm going to have to read the book and come back. This is the worst thing about having a car that you're working on that's not immediately at home or within like 30 seconds walk, is every time you hit a snag you need to go and look something up. You can check a lot of stuff on your phone obviously, but it's not the same as the proper workshop manual or the big internet on a computer. If you forget a tool, you're knackered as well, so you've got to walk all the way home, or in this case drive all the way home. It's only a few minutes, but it's far enough to be irritating. So I can't get this back bench out for the time being, so I need to come back again tomorrow. That's really irritating. One other thing which kept on coming up in the comments as well, which I'd forgotten about, these wheels. They're MGF wheels, aren't they? When I first saw them, I thought they were Tomcat VVC wheels or something. I couldn't quite place them, they didn't look right, and I couldn't work out why. But they're MGF wheels, which look really cool from the side, but when you look at the car from the front, the offset isn't quite right, so they're staggered out just a little bit too much. They kind of look okay on the back, but at the front, it looks a bit... It's something I really hate. Ill-fitting wheels just really wind me up. They need to be either, at the most, absolutely flush with the body line. Like on an Alfa Romeo, they will always push the wheels flush out really hard to the edge. But anything beyond that, apart from being a borderline MOT fail, it just looks really naff. So these I'm going to have to get rid of and get some proper Rover coupe wheels, or some MG straights. The MG straights, I think they call them, from the ZR and ZS, I believe, I think. They look quite cool on these R8s as well. But anyway, no. If anyone wants to do swapsies, if anyone wants to swap some MGF wheels for some Rover 200 wheels, ideally with legal tyres on them, I would be definitely up for that, because that would save me a lot of aggro selling these and try and buy new ones. I can't actually take them off yet because I still can't get in the boot to get to the locking wheel nut, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. This final shot is for everyone who is saying, oh no, but if that rear wing looks that rough, then surely the underfloor is going to be full of holes as well. Well, the thing is, the sills and the rear arches on 200s just go all the time. I've almost never seen one without it. Up under the sills themselves, the car actually looks really quite tidy. Well, my plan for this video had been to go back tomorrow and do a bit more trying to get into the back of the car, into the boot area, so I could try and get the roof up and make some progress on that part of the car. But it now looks like we're going to have thunderstorms tomorrow. That means it's going to be a delay for the next video, so rather than pause it and wait and leave it, I thought I'd just end the video here and give you an update now. And this, just to sort of end things on, is the wing, which I didn't really show you properly, which came from the broken cabriolet up in the yard. Oh, the other thing I didn't tell you, that's not a breaker's yard, so people have asked me where that breaker's yard is, full of old Rovers. That's a private collection, so I'm not going to give out the details of where that came from. One thing I did learn that day though is that the difference between coupes and cabriolets, because they have different front wings to the 5 doors and the 3 doors, the hardtops, there's a little cutout down here which is hidden by the wing, the trim finisher on a coupe, which a cabriolet doesn't have, so you have to make sure you get a cabriolet wing, otherwise it looks really odd with a big cutout in it. This wing isn't too bad, it's got a bit of rust here, which is at the standard place. I've got a shot blasting kit, it's not a very good one, in the garage, but I'll give it a go. It takes back to bare metal, so it'll look much nicer. So that will be one more thing done. And also, I said on the video a few minutes ago that I wondered if anyone wanted to swap some MGF wheels for some coupe wheels. Someone on Facebook has just offered to sell me some for a really good price, so I will go up and collect them from him very shortly indeed. And he's got a new headlining for my coupe as well, so road trip for that one coming very soon indeed. So I will say goodbye for now. As always, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, you know the stuff. Buy yourself a Rover t-shirt, that helps the channel along very well indeed. I can buy more bits of Rover then if you buy a Rover t-shirt. It's a good way of doing things. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.